My initial thoughts about the Respect Institute were I believe that I didn't really have much of a story. I also believe that the story that I did have was one that I wasn't certain that I wanted to share.
My initial thoughts with the Respect Institute was this is going to be difficult. And once I actually got going, it was like difficulty times 10, because you're having to open yourself up and reveal vulnerable, very personal parts of yourself.
I would say my initial thoughts of the Respect Institute, I was just excited to learn about the opportunity that someone, along with some peers, could help me put some of my past experiences into, I would say, a perspective, but also to a story, rather than just segments I've been trying to piece together.
The Respect Institute of Georgia is a peer-run program that supports participants in the development of skills necessary to transform their experiences with mental health and substance use challenges, treatment and recovery, into educational and inspirational presentations.
I believe that most of my apprehensions before I started with the Respect Institute had to do with whether or not I would feel safe, whether or not this was something that I really wanted to do. I was afraid. Not just afraid in the sense of being scared, but afraid in sharing that much of myself with other people, and also afraid of sharing that much of myself with me.
Like a sculptor or potter, we start off with raw material, and for some, that includes trauma. Then we decide how we're going to use that raw material to create a story of hope.
The persons who facilitated the process for us were very compassionate. They were very knowledgeable, and they created a space. Even though it was online, they created a space that made you want to share.
Joel immediately put everybody at ease in a believable way, not a trite or kind of a false mask on how things were going to go. It truly felt safe. I was able to understand my story with those challenges because I realized the challenging parts were just my emotional reaction to addressing traumas for the first time. And now that I finally addressed them and the emotions would settle, what was important in my story became more clear.
The process of learning to tell my story was very challenging.
Challenging.
Extremely challenging.
Probably one of the most challenging things that I've ever done, but well worth it. It was hard work, but it was definitely well worth it.
Prior to the training, I knew that there was power in the lived experience in the story, but it was like scattered pieces. You know, the understanding was that I think it could be good here, be good there. But what the Respect Institute helped me do was to see a path forward.
You know, when you go through traumas, you kind of just either don't think about it or you overthink about it, but it's in sections or segments. But when you get to learn how to put your story in a way that's chronological and in a way that can give advice to your past and future self as well as other people, it brings it to a clear image where now you know how to talk about it, and it'll help you move forward.
You start to learn things about yourself that you may have even hidden from yourself as you are unearthing your story.
An experienced facilitator provides opportunities for participants to provide feedback to one another. This helps to uncover the value of one's story. It becomes a group effort.
I was able to receive the type of confirmations and affirmations that I have never received, to show this vulnerable side of myself, and then receive responses that let me know, 1, it's okay. 2, you're not alone. Other people have been through similar situations. This community has been a support system that I never knew I needed until I got it.
I realized that was the first time I ever really took a hard, objective look at myself. Who am I? Where did I come from? How did I get to this point in time right here, right now?
My Respect Institute story has helped me in my recovery. To share that story and then getting the feedback from the audience each time just motivates me more and more, encourages me more and more to share the story with others, and then also to encourage others to do the same. It's connection that is the answer to so many of our problems, and that connection comes with the exchange of these life stories and these experiences.
The feedback I received from my peers in the Respect Institute helped me create my story simply just by encouraging me.
Did I realize that my lived experiences could end up being a beautiful piece of art? Absolutely not.
No, it would have never occurred to me in a million years that my lived experience could be considered a beautiful piece of art. A learning experience at best, maybe for others, but art? No.
I did not think that my lived experiences were going to become a beautiful piece of art, using that word specifically. I wanted to be an artist as a kid. That through my experiences got pushed aside, and so for me, art coming from me was really never something I thought about again. So being able to take what the Respect Institute gave me and create something that was beautiful, not just to me, but beautiful to other people, like, awesome.
I didn't believe that there was really anything beautiful about my story. And when you realize that there's not only beauty and strength in your own story, you begin to develop courage to step out into other things.
Sometimes, like when you go through hard things, it's hard to find the beauty in them. But then after a little time and a lot of patience, you start to realize that those bad things are actually just teaching you about the good things. And that is a beautiful piece of art.
What my story means is that if we live with integrity, then sometimes hopeless situations can open up, and not only open up in terms of granting you relief, but also open up and lead you to a much brighter, a much better life than you would have had you not gone through that experience. So I would say that my story to me means that no matter what it looks like, there's hope.
The Respect Institute was a launching pad for my being able to be comfortable in other organizations, with other groups, and with myself.
I think that the Respect Institute was transformative for me in the sense that it gave me a process by which I can produce consistent results. And anytime you learn a process, you can always teach that process to someone else. And so it has also given me the ability to share what I've learned through the Respect Institute with other people, to help them see the power in their lived experience and to help them tell their story in a succinct way that connects with people and inspires.
There are so many people out there that think they're alone. So many that think that no one will ever understand what they're going through. And that kind of builds a dead end. If no one understands, then no one can help. And if no one can help, then I'm stuck. So being able to tell my story to others, it is my hope that they will see an avenue from despair, an avenue out of darkness, and hopefully be able to continue the cycle themselves.
By the end of my training, I felt empowered. And I think that's the most succinct word that I can use for that.
My Respect Institute story helps me in my recovery every day. I go back and I remember what my story is truly about, and that helps me to wake up every morning. That strength and that resilience really whisper in my ear, "You've lived through tougher than this. Keep going."
To others in recovery, if they got the chance to participate in the Respect Institute, absolutely do not pass this opportunity up.
Our goal is to empower you so that you can join us in educating our communities, inspiring our peers, and providing insights to professionals and administrators, one story at a time. Please consider joining us at the Respect Institute of Georgia.